From the Sky Satellite Network, this is Sky Sports.
Give me a wide shot, you're too close. Effects on one, mix on two.
Get the floor now, please.
And cue.
3, 2,
Ready on B.
1, 0.
Sharp on target again. United stay on top. Birthday boy Cascarino fires Chelsea in front, but Spurs fight back. And light at the end of the tunnel for Luton's Darren Salton. And good evening to you. This is the soccer news at 10 o'clock. I'm Paul Dempsey. The champions Manchester United sit more proudly than ever at the top of the pile this evening. Arsenal are up to second behind them. And in Scotland, the big cup tie tonight has gone to extra time at Ibrox. More on that in just a moment or two. First up, a check on all the results in England, beginning in the top flight at Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers won, Arsenal won. Kevin Gallagher putting Rovers in front at home there in the first half. Kevin Campbell equalising for the Gunners after the break. At Highfield Road, Coventry City 1, Liverpool 0. Phil Babb with his first ever goal for Coventry City. Liverpool were down to 10 men when Rob Jones was sent off for the first time in his career. Liverpool lost there last season, you may remember as well. Old Trafford, the champions Manchester United 3, West Ham United 0. Lee Sharp with his fourth goal of the campaign. Eric Cantona and then Steve Bruce a couple of minutes from time. No problems for United tonight. Loftus Road, Queen's Park Rangers 2, Sheffield United 1. Trevor Sinclair bought by Jerry Francis from Blackpool and a Clive Wilson penalty for Rangers. Justin Flo had levelled matters in the middle of that game for Sheffield United with his third goal in 3 starts for his new club. Extraordinary story from Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 3, Norwich City 3. Wednesday were cruising to victory, it appeared. 3 up. Chris Bart-Williams, Mark Bright with his second in 2 games and Andy Sinton with his first for his new club. But then Norwich started an amazing fight back, led off by Mark Bowen. Efan Ekoku and Chris Sutton also weighing in with goals. It's finished 3 apiece and Wednesday still wait for their first victory. County ground, Swindon Town 1, Manchester City 3, more woes for Swindon. Even though Nicky Summerby put them in front, City came storming back for their first victory of the campaign. Michael Vonk levelled it, Niall Quinn and Adi Mikey got the insurance goal there. And in the London derby at White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Chelsea 1. A Terry Sheringham penalty equaliser for Spurs 5 minutes from time after Tony Cascarino fired Chelsea in front. All those confirmed results, and this is what it means at the top of the table tonight. Manchester United now 3 points clear. Arsenal alone in second place. Liverpool slipped to third and Coventry City and Norwich also going very well. Coventry up to fourth and Norwich just above Aston Villa now into fifth place. Other results tonight like this in Division 1 at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 2, Southend 2. Bob Taylor with 2 for Albion. Excellent fight back though by Southend here. Brett Angel getting both of them. The second in the 90th minute to protect Southend's unbeaten record. And in Division 2, a couple of results. Brighton 0, Bristol Rovers 2. John Taylor got both of those goals. Brighton still without a victory. And Reading 4, Barnet 1. And that means Barnet are still waiting for a point in their league programme this season. Anglo-Italian Cup, 1 preliminary round fixture tonight. It's ended 2-2 at the new London Stadium. Millwall 2, Charlton Athletic 2. And in Scotland, the big cup tie, they're still playing at Ibrox. Latest Scottish League Cup quarter-final. Rangers, the holders of the League Cup. They lead Aberdeen 2-1. A Mark Hateley penalty in the first minute. Joe Miller equalised with a penalty for Aberdeen. It went into extra time and Ian Ferguson has restored Rangers' lead. We may have a result before the end of this show. Europe. Preliminary fixtures continuing. Cork City have overcome Cwmbran. It finished Cork 2, Cwmbran 1 in the second leg, a 4-4 aggregate scoreline. Cork get through on away goals, only just. Excellent fight by Cwmbran. Morley and Glynn got 2 late strikes for Cork, who actually trailed on the night there. And at Windsor Park, Linfield 1, Dinamo Tbilisi 1. The Georgians get through 3-2 on aggregate, even though Gary Haylock scored for Linfield. And in the Cup Winners' Cup, we have them here. Bangor go down 3-2 on aggregate to Apoel Nicosia in Cyprus. It finished Apoel Nicosia 2, Bangor 1 on the night. And in Dublin, Shelburne are through. They beat Karpaty Lvov, the Ukrainians, 3-1. Excellent performance by Shelburne. Costello, Mooney and Itzy the scorers of those goals. And that sends Shelburne through 3-2 on aggregate. They'll be thrilled with that result. Manchester United and Leeds, who were found guilty of misconduct after withdrawing players from the England under-18 squad, have been reprimanded by the FA today. Howard Wilkinson and Alex Ferguson, I should say, went to Lancaster Gate yesterday to explain why they pulled players out of the tour party to prevent what they called burnout. The FA reprimand, instead of a possible fine, will probably be seen as a moral victory for the two clubs, who will have to pick up the costs for the hearing. The Coventry City boss Bobby Gould has been charged with misconduct over comments made about officials last week. Gould described the referee and linesman during Coventry's game at Oldham as worse than pathetic. The comments came after Oldham were awarded this controversial penalty. The FA say they'll also be looking into the incident at Portman Road last night involving Kevin Keegan. The Newcastle boss reacted angrily when an Ipswich fan hit Keegan on the back of the head through the dugout. Newcastle United's Lee Clark has pulled out of the England under-21 squad for next Tuesday's international against Poland. Clark was substitute during last night's game at Ipswich. He's suffering from a pulled thigh muscle. It's bad news for Celtic and Scotland. The Parkhead skipper Paul McStay is going to be out of action for the next 3 or 4 weeks. McStay has had an operation on a foot injury today. It means he will certainly miss Scotland's match in the World Cup against Switzerland next week and Celtic's UEFA Cup tie against Young Boys of Bern. After a sluggish start to their season, Aston Villa's victory at Everton last night has put them right up there among the early season pace setters, and it wasn't a bad night in particular for Guy Whittingham.
Aston Villa new boy Whittingham shot to the top of the class after marking his first full appearance with a goal. The 28-year-old striker, who wrote to all the top-flight managers in search of a club, repaid some of the £1.2 million Villa invested in him with the winner at Everton. Newcastle striker Andy Cole continues to make the headlines after his third goal of the campaign. Cole gave the Magpies an early second-half lead when he rounded off a smooth passing movement. But Ipswich hit back to win a point on 77 minutes when Chris Kiwomya netted his first of the season when he capitalised on some slack Newcastle defending. And Wimbledon continued to confound the critics with their second win of the new campaign by disposing of struggling Southampton. Warren Barton hit the only goal of the game to lead the Dons' boss Joe Kinnear, calling for him, Robbie Earle and John Scales to be given an England chance.
Tim Abraham reporting there. One postscript to that match at Goodison Park last night. Aston Villa could be torn off a strip by the FA because of their new kit. Villa's new green and black striped shirts caused more than a few problems. The Villa players, it seems, kept passing to the referee. The FA are looking into the matter, and so one imagines is Ron Atkinson. In the meantime, the new shirts go on sale on Friday. Villa say they've got 4,000 of them on order. Important night for Linfield, as we mentioned earlier on, but some things on this night of international and domestic football put things in perspective. Almost a year ago, the Luton and Scotland under-21 defender Darren Salton was involved in a serious car crash. One woman died in the crash. Salton survived but sustained major injuries. Now he's fighting his way back to full fitness and even hoping to play the game he loves once more.
Darren Salton counts himself lucky to be alive, let alone able to hobble out of the Kenilworth Road tunnel. Last November, he was involved in a head-on car crash. The woman passenger in the other car was killed. Salton lay in a coma for 3 weeks, his right leg shattered and his nose pushed up into his face. But after countless operations, he's fighting for his professional footballing life.
I'd like to play, that's my target, to play again, but if I don't, then you don't. I'd like to play.
And at this moment in time, how optimistic are you?
Yeah, I'm quite optimistic. Like the surgeon I'm dealing with, he says like leg will be no problem. And the head specialist will see the head's no problem, so that's fine. That's really good. That gives you a bit of confidence as well. Gives you something to look forward to.
Salton has received moving support from his family and friends, and particularly the club, who are supporting his painful attempt to keep fit until the large metal pin which is keeping his leg together is removed.
Grafts were taken from the pelvis to graft into the tibia, and hopefully it will respond. He's had a series of x-rays, and the x-rays are getting better and better and better. So hopefully now it'll be repaired. Next month he's going for another series of x-rays to see the extent of the damage, and hopefully by summer the nail will be able to be taken out, hopefully.
And how optimistic are you that he'll be able to play again?
Well, I'm quite optimistic on this one. I've spoken to surgeons, and I know the way Darren works, and he's a good worker. He's a grafter, the boy, and I'm quite optimistic. Quite optimistic.
How frustrating has it been for you? Because you're a professional footballer and that's your life, and now all of a sudden that's been taken away from you.
It was my life, but now it isn't really my life now. It's just your health. As long as you've got your health, you've got everything, haven't you? That's the only thing, really. It's frustrating, but I know I'm going to be out for 18 months, so you just have to accept and get on with things.
The Luton and Scotland under-21 centre-back harbours dreams of running out as a first-team player. Grateful to be alive anyway, his outlook on life and football has dramatically changed. His courage puts our everyday worries into context.
And good luck to him as he continues that brave fight. News of Darren's team, Luton Town, incidentally. Their game on Saturday at Sunderland has been postponed. Sunderland-Luton this Saturday is postponed in Division 1. The reason the Sunderland keeper Tony Norman has been drafted into the Welsh squad as cover for Neville Southall, who's struggling with injury. Just before we leave you for now, a quick look ahead to Sky Sports tomorrow. We'll be back at 6 o'clock with the soccer news once more. And then the WWF Wrestling, the SummerSlam special at 6:15. 7 o'clock, US Open Tennis, all the exclusive action from Flushing Meadow, live, Sue Barker and the team there. And at 9 o'clock, Andy Gray in the boot room. I'll be back with the soccer news once more at 10, with all the day's top stories and news then. And then after the second edition of Soccer News, highlights of the Belgian Grand Prix. 11 o'clock, best of British motorsport, and rounding off another excellent day's sporting entertainment here. More live action as we continue to cover the US Open Tennis every day for a fortnight, live from Flushing Meadow. Before I leave you, some headlines in England. It's going extremely well for Manchester United. They've won again. West Ham on the end of a 3-0 defeat at Old Trafford. Manchester United now 3 points clear at the top tonight. Arsenal get a point at Blackburn to go second. Liverpool beaten at Coventry. Coventry City up to fourth. Liverpool also lost Rob Jones, sent off for the first time in his career. Queen's Park Rangers victors. Norwich came from 3 down to get a point at Sheffield Wednesday. Manchester City win at Swindon. And Spurs and Chelsea get a point apiece. In Scotland, I've just heard League Cup quarter-final result. Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1 after extra time. Next up, it's boxing and the ringside special, the WBO World Heavyweight Showdown between Tommy Morrison and Tim Tomaszek. Soccer News comes around again in the morning. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.
England's World Cup campaign has been a roller coaster ride of elation and disappointment.
It just gets better and better for England.
We didn't play that well on an 8.
Can we still qualify?
Oh yes, I mean we can still qualify.
Now it's crunch time. With 3 matches to go, there's nothing more to be said. England must beat Poland in their last home game. Watch the whole match exclusively live next Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Sky Sports.
It's the final whistle.